Good morning, everybody. To all my 273 friends that love to follow my channel, really appreciate it. Today's a big day for the project. I mean, it's always an ongoing project, but today we're going to be taking the forged engine and putting it back in the car. It's going to be quite a big job because I am doing it in my garage, on my hands and knees and on my back. At 31 years old, it does start to rub off on you, but hey, it's part of the hobbies, I guess you can say. You build it, you break it, fix it, beat it, and just keep going. So without further ado, let's start her up, get a cold start, turn the car around, and let's prepare for action. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so as you can see, we've got the bumper off, the grill off, the wheels are off, the car is jacked up. The front clip is ready to come off. We're just gonna drain the coolant before. It's just holding on some rails right now. I'll show you. These are actually pretty good. They come in handy, especially when you want to access the intake manifold. Well, it's a bit tight right now there, but that's what they recommend if you want to do any servicing on the intake manifold. You put it in service position, so those pins put it in service position. So getting back to what I was saying, we're going to drain the coolant. After the coolant is drained, we're going to take out my skid plate under here, and we're going to drain the oil. After we drain the oil, then we're going to start taking apart all the little things here and there. Take apart the tubing, here, the intake, the intercooler, and whatever little loose ends we can do. I'm most likely going to take the intake off now when it's in the motor, and then swap it afterwards onto that one once that one's back in the engine. I am going to be taking out the engine with the exhaust manifold on, and then once the engine is out, swap the exhaust manifold onto this one and put it back in, only because it's a little tight there in the back, and I cannot stick my big sausage fingers in the back there to try and tighten some bolts. It's going to take me forever, so I think that's the best approach. We're going to take out the shift linkages. A bit of a tongue twister this morning, my coffee didn't kick in. Then we're going to take out the axle, so on and so forth. So guys, let's get back to it. So this is where we're at. We ended up transferring majority of the stuff back onto the forged motor. I got the transmission on, I put the flywheel, the clutch, thermostat housing right there, the pipe that links it to the block. My custom bracket now, I put it back on here temporarily just so we can put them back in there. On the back side here we've got the exhaust manifold, the turbo, everything's nice and tight. The only one that gives me trouble is these guys under here, because it's such a tight spot to do. Whoever designed this manifold, shame on you. So, oh yeah, I gotta put my drain to the block. I'm getting grease all over my fingers. That's from the Raxel axles. Bit of a tongue twister there. So, thermostat housing is on, like I mentioned. I've got everything ready to go back in basically. The old engine, the original engine, is here on the floor, stripped apart. And that's it. After one hell of a day, I started, it was around 7:30 this morning. What time is it now? We're 9:15 p.m. So it's been a hell of a day. We've got the conclusion for so far. Front clip is on. I have coolant in a reservoir, new reservoir. To put coolant in the system, I've got the Schwaben, I think that's how you pronounce it. Schwaben, yeah. It's basically what it does is it creates a vacuum in the system, and you make sure that once you're at, let's say, negative 25 psi, you want it to be consistent and you don't want it to drop. If it drops, means you got a leak in the system, you've got a hole, or you got I don't know, your thermostat housing is not on properly. Well, you got to try and locate that, and you're gonna hear the little air coming out. So in my case, everything was good. I'm grateful for that. This is the kit, the Schwaben tool that I'm talking about. Basically, you pop it in there. I had it in a coolant container that's kind of filthy, but it does have a filter at the end of it, which is very good. So that's all done. I'm tempted to give her a start. So this is the conclusion. She's in. She's running. I gotta close my cap here. Fans are on. That's a very good sign. Try not to wake up my neighbors. Okay guys, so it's been a hell of a day. Started at 7:30 in this morning, I would say. It's what time is it? I'd say it's about 11. I guess you can say it was a hell of a day. Engine's in. Starts. I had to pull some fuel on my my map because it was a bit rich. Needs a little bit more adjusting on the computer side, which sounds like tomorrow's problem. So we're gonna end this video with all this. I just put the car down on the floor. We're gonna finish bolting it up tomorrow. I'm just gonna back it out of the garage and we're gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Johnny and this is the VR6 build.